All right, I'm on my way down to San Diego because I found a couple of these chairs. Like I said, it doesn't take that much to find them. You just got to search. I think I was looking today for maybe an hour and a half. I was looking, in LA, in Empire, Santa Barbara, and I found some down in San Diego. It's been frustrating. Sometimes these people don't want to answer your direct questions like, is there any damage? And they just respond with something like, chair, good condition, or something that's very vague. And even if you press them on it, they just refuse. And so then at that point, it's like, you want to take a gamble on them. In this case, I'm going to, because it's $100 for two. They don't match. The colors are not great, but it's just one of those things where pretty sure I can sell them, at a good margin. I don't do this stuff to make $50. If I'm spending $100 or $200 or whatever, at minimum, I'm doubling or tripling my money, But I list these for like $500, $600, $700 each, and then I come down as I need to, if I need to. But so it's a 2-hour drive there and back. I don't even have my truck. That's another thing. I'll get to that later, but that's what we're doing today on Sunday. All right, I picked up these recliners, and as you can see, it's a tight fit. I have to hold this one back, or it'll push the thing out of drive and into neutral. And also, if I don't hold it back with this other hand, it rubs against the steering wheel. But this is what you have to do when your truck is in the shop and there's something you need to go get. Waiting is not an option, even if it's been up there for like 2 months. Every time you think you find something that no one else has seen and you wait on it, it disappears fast. That's like the rule. So I couldn't wait, and this is what I had to do. You can see there's one in the back seat and one up in here in the front seat with me, and then the ottomans are in the trunk. All right, guys. These are the stressless recliners that I was telling you. I've sold a bunch of these, and I actually thought I had one in my storage unit. That's why I mentioned in episode 1 that I was going to do a video of these, and I realized I only had an ottoman, which would have been enough, but I found these two. I searched for like an hour this morning, maybe like an hour and a half. I think I mentioned in the first video I made in the car, the clip rather, which I might not include in this, but yeah, they're easy enough to find still. These are not in the best shape, but they'll clean up all right. And especially with all the COVID and whatnot, I always clean these and sanitize them. So I'm gonna tell you how to identify these. The main thing is this curve right here in the base. It's always a ring, and then it's just this wood that bends in, and then it bends out. But where it curves back in, it goes right into the inner thickness of this base. And this is a dead giveaway. There's some that are still kind of obvious because they have this curve, but it's not symmetrical. It's almost like it's folded over, and then it doesn't go into the edge right here. It just comes right on top, and there's like these ugly like rivets. It's not even close. It's not really something you have to worry about. And you can see that, like, this one to me is a little more smooth than this one, which kind of seems maybe like angular a little bit, kind of like on this part. But these are both authentic. It's just once you've once you've handled one or two, you know what to look for. And again, this is really the only thing that I look for when I don't have a picture of the base. You can't ask them. You can't really ask them to send you a picture, because they'll kind of know, like, why is this guy asking me for a picture? Like, oh, I must have something. What do I have? You want to avoid that, so don't ask them for a picture of the base or the side, unless, I mean, if you think you can, by all means. I have in the past, but usually I just try to identify it by this. And if I can't see the base, like for instance, sometimes it'll be a shot and it's just like from right here looking down where you can't see the base, but these chairs, they have enough like identifying marks that if you Google Ekornes Stressless, and Ekornes is Ekornes, if you Google that and just search through the images, I've never not found the chair that I thought it was. Like if I see one and I haven't, like these I know by memory pretty much. This is called the Royal, and I think this one is called the Consul, or the Mayfair maybe. Like seriously, you learn about this company just by buying and selling them. But so yeah, like if you only have this, if you're only looking at this and you're not sure if it's an Ekornes, but you think it might be, you just go to that webpage and look and compare, like these little stitch marks right here. They're not stitches, it's actually like a piece of, like a leather lace that goes in and then it comes out right here. And then there's like, you know, a little square pattern right here. The same thing on the seat, on the ottoman. You know, sometimes you might not be able to see much. Sometimes they photograph them from really weird angles, I'm telling you. Like they'll just take the weirdest picture and they'll call it chair. And if you watched episode 1, I mentioned that sometimes, in fact, rarely are you gonna find a good deal on something that's advertised as Ekornes Stressless. These were listed as chairs. That was the whole description. They're on OfferUp. They're down in San Diego, and that's another way you're gonna find stuff. Is in LA, there's tons of people doing this, and yeah, you find stuff on occasion, but it's kind of a first to the finish. I mean, especially with some of this high dollar stuff that goes really fast, like Aeron chairs. Those things are gone within 5 minutes. I mean, easily within 5 minutes, sometimes within 1. And so you gotta be fast. But if you're looking outside at Santa Barbara, the Inland Empire, you know, I've gone to Palm Springs before for various things, typewriters, and on OfferUp, you just memorize a few zip codes. Like I have 5 or 6 that I know, because, you know, the search area is like 50 miles, the standard search area. And so when you can really you can't expand that. You have to go and put in a different zip code as to where you want the app to search. You can do it on a computer. You can just type in the city, but then every time you search, you have to go in and reset the max distance. So the app is still the best way to do it, I think. Yeah, that's how you're gonna find stuff. And but even like today, my truck is in the shop getting some work done. I'm gonna pick it up tomorrow, and I almost decided to postpone this, but that's just, in my experience, it's a bad idea. If you find something, I would have rather watched football today. It's opening day, you know, if you're not gonna have a job and you want to be able to do what you want most days, then this is rare. This is some days. Some days you find stuff and you got to go get it. And I might have been able to push it till tomorrow, but I just didn't want to risk it, because it's happened, you know, plenty of times where I lost what I found, and then it's like a double loss, because the time you spent searching to find it, like I said, for these was maybe like an hour. I was kind of multitasking. I was eating breakfast, so it wasn't really work. Well, when you let something like this slip away, you lose that time and you lose this. And so that's why you find what you're looking for, just go get it. So these, I paid $100 for this set, and given the condition, I'll probably get between, like I said, they're not pristine, but they're both size large, which is what you want. You want a large or a medium, and you can determine that by, again, they're never gonna put size, people don't know. But once you find the model you're looking for, you can go to the Stressless website, and once you click on that page, you go to the bottom, and there's a spec sheet, and it'll give you measurements, so you won't be able to. If you ask them to measure, they're not going to. I'm just telling you right now, they're not going to. But when you get there, you can measure. But you'll know right away when you sit in a large. Like right here, I have a decent gap on both sides, and just the seat width and the depth. It's a dead giveaway. The smalls, I would not buy a small. They're too small. But even smaller stature people will buy these, and I mean, it's just a better fit, I think, definitely for any adult. But yeah, so again, it's just this curve right here in the wood, and teak is like, I think they're all made of teak, and they come in like a cherry finish, black, various colors. And then the other thing, which these they rotate, and these caps right here, most always these will say stressless. They'll have Stressless Ekornes like imprinted on them, not just written, but it's like, it's like etched in the plastic. But some of them, I bought some that don't have that, but I still know that they're authentic, just because I know what I'm looking at. I know the arms, and so yeah, that's pretty much, that's the best way you can identify them. If you can't see this little wood curve, you're just gonna look at this design, and you're just gonna look for, how many lines, like 1, 2, 3 lines, okay. And I've only misidentified one of these one time, and that's because I couldn't see the base, and literally this pattern, it matched an authentic one exactly, and the arms looked exact. And sometimes the other thing you want to look for is these knobs right here, the fake ones, not fake, but just, because this is a common form of a recliner. But I think I'm out of the shot. This is a common form, this like recliner with an ottoman and like a wood base. But the dead giveaway is, again, the ring. If this is like a solid, like, platform piece of wood and there's holes, it's not an Ekornes. Just move on. Unless you want it for yourself, you're not going to make money. But the other thing is, some of the ones that might look like an authentic model, when you don't have enough information, if this is wood, if the little knob, this is how you lock them at various angles. If that's wood, not an Ekornes, you can pass it up. But other than that, like I said, they're pretty easy to spot, and these tend to go, like I said, it depends on the color combo, the condition, how many are listed for sale currently, because there's been times where I'm picking these up, and then I realized that there was a bunch of people that have them for sale for like $300. So that's not really a great time. I mean, the market fluctuates like any other market. Right now, I think I can probably get between like 400 to maybe 650 or something for these teak. The teak stain for the wood is always popular, and it photographs really well. Green leather, I don't think I've had one. Blue, I'm not sure if I've had one either. But right now, everyone wants like $800, $900, and people are asking $400, $350 for junk. So right now is a good time. But again, you kind of need to check and see how many are for sale, etc., etc. But yeah, that's I've bought and sold a lot of these, and I mean, it's worth it. It's basically a whole day's work, because you go wherever you're gonna get them, and then you bring them back, you clean them up. It takes a few hours to wipe them down and to photograph them and to put the listing up. I mean, I have all that stuff kind of streamlined, because I can just use the template for like the last one I listed. I can keep the description very similar, as far as I might have to change the description pertaining to blemishes and stuff, the price, but so once you get going, it's easier. But it's basically a whole day work. You go get it and you list it, but for one day you're probably gonna make in the area of $500, for one. That's the price you want to get it at. If you want to buy these for like $500 and sell them for $6 or $7, be my guest. But those margins, just I don't get it. I mean, for all that work, I guess if it's still one day, $200 a day. The problem is you can't do this every single day. At least not with stuff like this. That's why I do a bunch of stuff. I do typewriters and fitness equipment for the last few months, and high-end other types of chairs and furniture, desks and bookcases and stuff like that. But then you got to have the room, and so it would be great. I would settle for $100 profit if I could do it twice a day or 3 times a day, or guaranteed. But there's no guarantee. That's why I try to buy low, and then I just try to kill it on the price, because that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes one day of work. You're getting as much money as some people get the whole week working at in any kind of retail job, or I mean, even a decent paying job. If you're taking home $500 or $600 a week, I mean, that's 40 hours versus, I mean, in reality, I had the whole morning to myself today. I did this. I left around, I think, like noon or 12:30, and then I got back here at like 5:30. I just went straight there and back. To me, it's a no-brainer. But yeah, guys, this is I've sold a bunch of these, and I plan to keep doing it. And that's really it. That's all it takes to identify. Just go look at a bunch of the different models, and you'll see models that have like a tripod base. Those are newer. Those are rarely I've never had one, because they're too new, and people remember like, oh, just 2 years ago this cost me $4,000. So you're probably not gonna find them for $100. But some of these are 10 or 15 years old, and they're still in pretty darn good shape. I mean, they use nice leather, and the company's been around since the 70s. The 70s models look a little different. They have that tubular that I was sitting in episode 1. I've only sold a few of those. They don't come up as often, and not as many people want them. But this a lot of people can go for this look. I've sold this to physicians, like psychiatrists, and I've sold more than one of these to people that work in that field, in like the medical field, therapy, that sort of thing, musicians, and then just other people just put them in their home. But this is the style I would stick to, the circular base, with the wood frame. That's what I'd stick to. And that's pretty much it, guys. As far as likes and follows, do whatever you want. I'm not here to beg for any of that. Just letting you know how I make money and how I can keep not having a job. That's it.